Okay, my name is RodSteiner, and I'm an enrolled member of the Santee Sioux Nation of Nebraska. And I've been coming to this homecoming for 5 years now. And Lyle Rustad got me involved in it as a member of the family of Wabasha that used to live here. My great-great-grandfather was Wabasha III. And we're sitting right under Wabasha's cap as we talk here. And it's good to come back here because these people have treated us like, like royalty. And I can't say enough for the city of Winona for what they're doing and what's developed in the last 5 years. Some people probably don't even know that we've already got children, or some of our children, enrolled in here in the colleges. And they've been giving them scholarships, and that was one of the first things I thought about what we needed to have done. And they've already accomplished that. And so I just expect nothing but good things to come from this because they're very serious about what they're doing. Been here 5 years now. And like I said, a lot of people don't know what's developed over the last 5 years. And our relationship to the community, the leaders, the mayors, and even the mayor in Rochester. And we're starting to get people involved from Rochester and all of southeast Minnesota in this thing. And it's all church people, mainly all church people that we've gone to that have had these drives and got furniture and things for Crow Creek.
Yeah. Tell us about Lyle Rustad.
Well, Lyle is, we became just instant good friends. You know, it's very seldom you meet people like that. I mean, I know men, I've had a couple of meetings like that with guys that we met and we just became friends for life. And the last one just died about 4 years ago, and my best friend from high school days. And when I met Lyle, he was like that. We hit it off immediately. And so he was around, and I didn't know what he did, but we talked. He was interested in the documentaries, how he got me interested in it, talking about the documentary, and then we went up to Santee and did a bunch of interviews up there when the powwow was on, and interviewed some of my other relatives that live up there. And so this thing just kept going, and we took a little fishing trip out to Crow Creek. I went out there to fish, and Lyle came out behind me, and we camped out there for about 3 days. And I got to know him. Every time he'd see an elder, I got to interview him. So I said, well, you know, he said, we're going to set up some interviews for tomorrow. I said, Lyle, I came up here to fish. I said, I don't, you know, I wasn't that interested in what he was doing at that time. I mean, I was interested, but I didn't realize, you know, how he was. And so anyway, he went up and we interviewed some elders, and he went up and did that, and I fished, and he came down the next day and we fished, and then things just snowballed from there. It was just, he got me involved in this stuff, and we got the first load we took up to Crow Creek was, there's a lot of things about this you don't know when you're taking stuff up to you should have a place to drop it so you can distribute it, and we didn't know anything. I just got a load of stuff in Kansas City and went down and borrowed a trailer from Richard Boyd, and he goes to Pine Ridge. He'd been going for years, and he didn't warn me about, you know, what we were doing, that we ought to know what you're doing when you get involved. Well, I get up there at 8:30 in the morning and nobody there, a couple guys drunk, and I asked them to help me, and they said, are you hiring? And I thought, wow, what warriors, you know, I come up here with a whole trailer load of stuff for you guys, and you want me to pay you to unload it. So anyway, we went over to the elders, and we got all the elders out, and they helped us unload it. But that was our first experience at Crow Creek, and Lyle always says, you know, another fine mess you got me into. And I said, well, it just snowballed from there. And then when we got involved here, he gets the big idea, well, we ought to have drive here, we can take it out to Crow Creek. And we still didn't, you know, have enough sense to know that we don't have any place to drop it off. The truck gets there, and they got to get it unloaded. They want to leave, and we don't have any place to put it. So we just distribute it off the back of the truck, which is a bad way to do it. And so anyway, we finally got a place to store stuff here, and which helped. But we still have the problem out there. They don't have a decent building out there that we can even store anything in that's secure. And you know.
Is that next on your agenda to try to get them?
Well, they're trying, but I think, you know, we can take clothes out there and furniture till I don't know how long, because they always need it. There was a little old man come up to me and he said, "I've been in that house over there for 8 years. Do you think you could get me a kitchen table and a couple chairs?" Yeah, yeah.
Let me ask you something. Lyle has a lot of projects in mind. Part of this was gathering, obviously taking the food out, and he's interested in making documentaries, and he's been accumulating.
Yeah.
Say something to our audience here about what you think about. How important is that to you personally and to the nation?
Well, the documentary, we need to get that out, because I don't know how these people, you know, came to the conclusion that we need to have a homecoming. I don't know how that happened. I mean, the next thing I know, Lyle called us and said they're going to do this, and so we came down with the family and got involved in it. And you know, you're a little standoffish at first, what's this all about? And then you see how sincere the leaders here are, especially Eric Sorensen, the city manager. He's already writing grants to get a water out there at Crow Creek. And Lyle was out there on the opening of the pheasant season, and the new motel they built didn't have any water. And I read an article in the paper that we're helping people in Africa and the Middle East with water problems because, and this article stated by the United States government, you cannot have economic development unless you've got good water. Now that was from whoever the leader was, and so we've never had good water at Santee, and Crow Creek had a lot of problems with their pumping system, and here's all these hunters coming in, a lot of them from out of state, to Crow Creek for their hunting season, and they don't have any water, couldn't make coffee, can't take showers. And now, how many of them are going to come back next year? You know, and so when you talk, and that motel, I don't know how many people they hire, but if it's 5 or 6 jobs, that's a big amount to us. And so that's what I want to get economic development. I want to get something. We even looked at Chamberlain, South Dakota won't let a Walmart in. So we got 8 miles from Chamberlain. We got a beautiful level area there, and we even called Walmart, and they're not interested. I guess I don't know, but and I thought, you know, we could put Walmart there and then move the casino over there, and you're 8 miles from the interstate, and that could be some jobs. But that's what I'm looking at, because those are my grandfather's people, and he was a leader of them, and I feel like the Wabasha family and like Leonard does, it's our duty to help our people. Those are our grandfathers. If we were living back in the old days, that's what we'd be doing. And this is what we need to do at Santee and Crow Creek. And Lyle is just, you know, I don't know the drive he's got, where all in these things keep coming in, extra things that we trying to contend with, like getting the popcorn going, and so we can get some funding, and we have a hard time getting funding, and it's just hard. I mean, even gas money sometimes to take a load out, or even gas money for ourselves to go out there. Like, I didn't realize that when I took that trailer up there, it cost me $650 to take that one 20-foot trailer up there, and you know, and I didn't realize it that expensive. And then I get up there, I don't have any place to drop it to, and we're in a learning process, and they don't have the finances to build a place. They don't have anything out there that's, you know.
Tell us about, we interviewed Al Child.
Huh?
Al Child from the casino up in.
I don't know.
Well, he was very
yeah, I know.
He was very
But
excited
then
about
when, you know, and here's our problem, when you can get involved with a tribal government, and then if it changes, then everything dies. And they do that every 2-3 years, I guess. And
he said he was off the council now.
yeah, and that's the problem we get. And that's another thing I want to say. Democracy is failing us. If you see the politics on a reservation and what happens, I read a blog from Canada. It said the reserves are in terrible trouble. It said that the reserves are being run like a kibitz just for the leaders. And when the leaders get in, they take all the jobs, give them to their family, and everything is corrupt. And I mean, no, I guess no one wants to say that, but I'll say it. Democracy has failed us. We need to revamp that tribal council, and we need to get rid of that and get something in there, have city managers, and we were sent out there to fail. I know that. We were sent out there to fail, and if we fail, then we don't have to mess with them anymore. And everything, they do nothing to help us with civil rights violations. They go on the reservation like you would not believe. And I'm not going to name them, but it's there. And they say, well, you guys you're a sovereign nation, you guys need to settle that yourself. Like, when you want to build a casino, we're not a sovereign nation then, see? And people need to know that, how we're being treated. And I said this: if we want to stop the Iraq war, bring all the Iraqi leaders over here and we'll take them out to Crow Creek and show them what 100 years of the United States messing with us will get you. And you'd go back and say, let's get this settled and get them out of here.